Hello, friends, and welcome. Skippyjon Jones is one of my favorite characters in all of little kids' literature, and today I'm going to be reading to you Skippyjon Jones Class Action. And to help us out today, I have my friend Skippy here. You will see that he's got his bendito bandana on his eyes, and he's got his doggy boy cape on. And so let's go ahead and take a look inside this book. Skippyjon Jones Class Action by Judy Schachner. And I can never say her name right, so I'm going to say Schachner. Oh, before we get started, I should tell you, when I read books out loud, I get kind of excited and into the action, so sometimes I don't say all the words just right, and I apologize for that. It's not how you would read, like if your teacher was recording your reading, but sometimes it just happens when you're really reading a good book. Skippyjon Jones Class Action. Skippyjon Jones was dying to go to school. And nobody, not even his mama, was going to stop him. But she did, by the scruff of his neck. School is for the dogs, stated Mama Junebug Jones emphatically. They're unruly and drooly, she added dramatically. Just listen to that barking. Those hounds sound ferocious. Plus a bus full of dog breath would smell so atrocious. Good golly, Pop Lolly, it's such a no-brainer. Gosh, I'm having trouble on that one. If there is a good dog, it's because of a trainer. His mama gently nudged her nugget into his room. Then she added, "You are Skippyjon Jones, a smart Siamese cat. Take a look in the mirror if you don't believe that." "He looks in the mirror every day," said his sisters, Jezebel, Jillyboo, and Jujubee. "But all he sees are chihuahuas." "Arf, arf, arf," barked Jujubee. After his family left him to think, the chihuahua did exactly what his mama suggested, but not before he bounced around his room with some books. "Oh, I'm Skippyjon Jones, and I don't get the fuss. It's not like a pigeon is driving the bus." That's funny, huh? Do you guys know what that reference is to? Maybe there's another really cool kids book about a pigeon driving the bus. Then he climbed up to his sister's kitty condo ladder for a peekaboo in the mirror. "Holy Julio," squealed the kitty boy. "How many chihuahuas am I?" he wondered out loud. And then using his very best Spanish accent, he answered, "As many as you can handle, hombre." And quicker than you can say The Cat in the Hat never did that. There's another reference to a good book, huh? The kitty boy tossed on his mask and his cape and a bright yellow bandana into his mochila. Then, as he buttoned up his red plaid shirt, he began to sing in a muy, muy soft voice. "Oh, my name is Skippito Fresquito, and I'm off to the school for burritos, 'cause I've got a good hunch that I'm going to have lunch with a grand old bunch of puchitos." Just across the hall, Mama Junebug Jones and the girls were doing a little homework of their own. "Listen here, messy missies," said Mama. "How are you supposed to clean your kitty condo without your ladder?" "Skippyjon has it," said the sisters. "What for?" asked Mama. "So he can see the chihuahua in the mirror." The chihuahua, however, was already in his closet, boarding a bus for school. But the kitty boy wasn't the only chihuahua on board. His old amigos, los chimichangos, were going to school too. "Thank dog you made it, dude," exclaimed Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. "Sí, Skippito," panted Poquito Tito, the smallest of the small ones. We need your help. Con el bolito. Without a doubt, declared Skippito. But why do you need my help with the bully? Because he is a perro mescuino, declared Don Diego, who barrenas around the escuela in a tazalita. He spins around the school in a tiny teacup? Exclaimed the kitty boy in shock. See, dude, added Don Diego, he growls and howls and wears a suerta de la también. Not the wool sweater, said Skippito. Uh-huh, agreed Poquito Tito, trembling. He is a woolly bully. Dun, dun, dun. A woolly bully. There wasn't a dog worth his biscuits who didn't fear the woolly bully. So it wasn't a surprise when a potent puff of panic pooped out of the gatito's tail. Hold on, we got to stop right there. What do you guys think? A potent, I'm going to show you that. What do you guys think? A potent puff of panic pooping or poofing out of the gallito's tail is? What part of an animal's body is by his tail? What might poof out in a panic? I'm not going to say. And all that puffiness inspired the buchitos to sing. Okay, ready? You can sing along with me. Oh, puffy, pufo, pufito. We know you can do it, Skippito. Let's unravel his sweater and knit something better. We'll show that old woolly bolito. But there was no turning back now. The doggies had arrived at school. We missed a page, huh? Whoa. Okay, there we are. A moment later, the principal, a poodle with very high standards, appeared with a bucket of balls and a whistle. First she blew, and then she threw. Go fetch, barked Mrs. Begalot. Then every dog, big and small, chased the ball down the hall into their classrooms, except for Skippito. He got carried along by the river of rovers and landed in art class, where he drew his best ever double doggy doodle. I've never seen a pup do that before, said Mrs. Houndler, the art teacher. Then he trotted over to the music room and bayed like a beagle for the canine chorus. Bow woof, woofed Mr. Muzzletuff. What a pair of ears. Skippy has huge ears. After music came math, where Skippy stunned Mrs. McDrooler with his counting skills. Here he is. He's amazing, right? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Are those good counting skills? What do you all think? Would you think your teacher would be amazed if you counted 2, 3, 5, 7, 11? At the bell, the amigos followed their noses to the library. Not even a bowl full of frijoles smelled as delicious as the scent of books waiting to be read. I lick libros, declared Skippito el Fresquito, the great readerito. I like books too, whispered Lenora Lapsitter, the librarian, from behind the bookcase. The kitty boy was the last to leave the library, so he had to race right over to French class with Monsieur Fouset. Can you say cheese? Asked the teacher. Oui, oui, said the poodles. Fromage. Si, si, said Skippito. Queso! Queso cabeza! Shouted the chimichangas from the rear of the room. I'm not a cheesehead, chimichangos, chuckled the gatito. I'm a chihuahua. The poodles were tickled pink to have Los Puchitos in class with them, and Los Puchitos wanted to share what they had learned with their amigo. So, the poopsies sang, Come si, come ca, comexito. We have something to tell you, Skippito. When the poodles say we, they really mean si. So don't look for a red hydrantito. Okay, we're going to read that again because that's really silly. Come si, come ca, comecito. We have something to tell you, Skippito. When the poodles say we, like we, they really mean si, which means yes. So don't look for a red hydrantito. What do you think a red hydrantito is? Maybe red fire hydrant and we... Silly poodles. After French, Los Muchachos took a pass on obedience class, deciding instead to nap inside the warm case with the golden trofeos. I'm not good at following the rules, confessed the kitty boy. What dog is, dude? Quipped Don Diego. But just then, the gatito heard a gut, gurgling growl that shook the entire escuela, perhaps the entire planeta. Holy heartburn, hollered Skippito. Was that my tummy? No, that is the bellow of the woolly bolito, said Poquito Tito with a shiver-ito. The grumblesome grumble grew louder, and along with it came the rattle and plink of the terrible Tazalita. It was spinning wildly right under his nose, circling like a polka-dotted shark. Handale, declared Don Diego. Get out your duds, dude. But Skippito was too frozen with fear to unpack his mochila, so his amigos did it for him, helping to change their chico into El Skippito Fresquito, complete with the mask, cape, and bandana. Ours is already ready. Why, the panato, dude, said Pintolito. It's my snack, replied the gatito. Will you share it with me and Tito? Oh, yes, indeedo, agreed Skippito. Then a woof chaka-laka laka, woof chaka-laka laka. Every doggy leaped out of the case and latched on to the turbocharged taza. This caused the cup to spin wildly out of control, some of the chicos just hanging on by a tail. Estoy mareado, cried Skippito. You're not dizzy, dude, you're green, yipped the doggies. The whirling dervish of a dog-filled teacup cut a mean path of destruction past the principal's office and spun right onto the lunch brunch like a bowling ball. Strikeito! Shouted the Puchitos. And strike it did. Smash, crackle, and pop. The twirling Tazalita crashed right into the table and broke apart, exposing the ferocious Fuzzy for what he really was. A teeny, tiny, itsy, bitsy, wool-wearing teacup chihuahua. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look right there. Does that look like a woolly bully to you? Oh man, so they were super afraid of the tiniest little chihuahua. Oh, love it. Dude, declared Skippito, you're no bigger than a bugito. But the bugito's only reply was a gut gurgling growl greater than the hounds had ever heard before. "Is that your tummy?" asked Skippyjo. "Sí," replied the bolito. "Tengo mucho hambre." "I am hungry too," agreed the quedito. "But you can have my planato." This act of kindness made the chimichangas pull out their jump rope right in the middle of class. "Peanut butter belly buttons, chunky cherry pits. The woolly bully's taza has broken into bits. Wiggle waggle, jelly on the toast. He's not a woolly bully, he's just hungrier than most." Just then, Mrs. Begalot stomped into the lunchroom. "I smell a cat," she bellowed, "and that cat better scat." Do you think a cat would be welcome to school for dogs? Then out came the whistle, and first she blew, and then she threw a bright yellow ball down the hall, which every dog, big and small, began to chase, except for Skippyjo. He wasn't chasing the ball. He was running for his life. First he tripped, then he slipped on the banana peel and slid straight out of his closet and back into the arms of his Mama Junebug Jones. "What in the woolly white willies have you been up to, Mr. Whiskers?" asked his mama. "He broke my teacup," whined Jilly Boo, "and he ate my banana," complained Jezebel. "That's 'cause he went to school with the Chihuahuas," explained Jujubee. Later that night, after every fuzzy fell asleep, the kitty boy was good for one last bounce. "Oh, I am Skippyjon Jones, and I couldn't say it better. A dog is not a bully just because he wears a sweater." Then he bounced over to his mama and gave her a beso, a kiss, and she fell straight. A kiss she felt straight through the layers of her quilt. "Good night, little dipper," said the very sleepy mama. "Good night, mama," said the very sleepy kitten. And that is the end of our story. There were several text-to-text connections in that book. That's where one book has a connection to another book. So we're going to talk about those a little bit more in our forums and our Zoom meetings. I hope you guys enjoyed my version of Skippyjon Jones. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.